So I bought a 1976 travel trailer and thought it would be a great idea to renovate it. It wasn't. But it inspired me to build my own trailer. After months and months of planning and sketching, I realized I was going through a lot of graph paper. So with a little help from Inkscape, I finally completed my design. Now, the challenge was building it. Okay guys, this is the day I've been waiting for. This is Andrew from Windsor Metal, and Andrew is going to cut the steel and we're going to weld it, and Eddie 2.0 is going to start here, and this is the beginning of it. We're going to weld the frame today and get it put together, and we're going to leave here with a completely badass off-grid trailer that I'm going to take home and continue the build process. The first step would be to cut all of the steel to the measurements of my design. The trailer frame would be built in 2 layers. The bottom layer that would be attached to the suspension would be built with 3/4 inch thick, 2 inch by 3 inch steel tubing. The top layer would be built using 2 inch by 2 inch square tubing. Before any welding would be done, Andrew used magnets to lock the steel in place to ensure all of the measurements were correct and the corners were square. The angle on the trailer tongue supports needed to be cut by hand using a mini grinder. The fit was perfect. The best part of creating my own design is being able to incorporate my needs into the build. Having a trailer hitch at the rear of the trailer was a priority for me to carry my bikes, as well as a storage platform if needed. Andrew was easily able to build in a hitch receiver I got from Princess Auto. Once all the pieces were cut, it was time to tack weld them together. Andrew's friend Steven stopped by to help out, and we propped up the bottom layer of steel onto some supports. The individual pieces were then tack welded in place, and the welding process was underway.
Clean some of this paint off. Good, you square? Tacky, tacky. Gooder. Good.
So we've done tack welding the frame, so basically that kind of locks it in place, and now you're going to weld it?
Yeah.
What type of welding are we going to be doing
Well,
here?
we're MIG welding everything up today.
everything's set up properly on the machine. We got good penetration, good wire speed, so everything should weld up really nicely.
Okay.
We're gonna fill in this little gap here, this little hole, with just a piece of 1/4 inch flat stock. That's the back. So we get 6 inches from the Well, it's exciting to get to this point of the build. For months now, it's been nothing but a sketch and a diagram on my computer, and now working with Andrew and Steven to actually see it come to life is pretty exciting. We flipped the frame upside down, and now it was time to put on the suspension. First, we clamped the leaf spring hangers in place to make sure we had the locations perfect. The axle orientation on a trailer is crucial to how it tows. I did a lot of research before I came up with the measurements I decided on. And I'm going to put it...
Are you putting big off-road pop-ups or nothing on it?
Yeah.
Once we had all the measurements confirmed that they were in the right location, we welded on the leaf spring hangers. ran a metal rod through the leaf spring hangers to ensure both leaf springs were the exact location on either side of the frame. The bolts were tightened up, and it was time to put the axle on. I used a Rockwell American 3,500 pound axle that I got from Princess Auto. Originally, we installed the axle underneath the leaf springs because I wanted the most ground clearance I could get with my trailer. Once we had it built and I looked at the tires, I changed my mind and we eventually switched the axle to above the leaf spring. Once we had the axle installed, it was time to weld on the top layer of the frame.
Probably shift.
Almost. I don't know, man. I think we're splitting hairs now.
Yeah, I think.
Once we got the top layer of the frame welded on, the next step was to install the wheels. With the wheels installed, you could really see the frame coming together.
Yeah, I can always.
We then welded on the trailer coupler to the tongue of the frame, which was the only piece of 3" by 3" square tubing in the frame build. And then it was time to tow my trailer home.
All right, guys, well, finally it's done. This is a trailer I have been visualizing for months and planning and drawing with hopes that maybe I wouldn't screw up the design. Luckily, everything went well as far as from my end, and Andrew and Steven did an amazing job welding it and putting it together. You know, all the little things that I hadn't thought about, these guys were great to work with. Andrew, Windsor Metal Services here, can't say enough great things about them. They will fabricate you anything. As we've been hanging out for the last couple days building this trailer, he showed me some of the projects that they've done, and really the sky's the limit on what they can do for you. So for sure, check them out if you ever want something like this designed for you.
I want one for myself now. How we built this guy. It'll be on the list for sure of builds 2022.
Yeah. Well, guys, I couldn't be more happy with it. Thank you a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Andrew. It's been great working with you, buddy. I really appreciate it. I'm glad we could collaborate on something like this.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have more projects in the future too. So.
Yeah, my imagination's always there. I'm always coming up with ideas, so we'll be in touch again.
Awesome.
Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't already done so, subscribe. Check out Windsor Metal on Instagram and follow them socially. You can see some of the projects they've done. And if you're ever interested, look them up, okay? We got another one in the books. Cheers.